It's officially College Football 25 gameplay day. EA just released a trailer and a deep dive blog, and I'm going to dive into every detail in this video. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network, as they did get me some of this info a little early so that I could get this video ready quickly for you guys. And if you don't want to miss out on any of the other deep dive blogs and info that's to come in the coming weeks, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on, because there's going to be a ton more news and footage coming for this game. Now, the trailer with all of the gameplay footage will be playing in the background, and I will pop up some specific screenshots here and there where they make sense. So Campus IQ is the overarching theme for the gameplay for College 25. Campus IQ encompasses the overarching concept that has built gameplay to be what it is today. With that said, college gameplay was built on these three fundamental pillars: all 22 plus, 134 ways to play, and stories of Saturday. All 22 plus highlights the importance of individual players and their unique abilities. It emphasizes the differentiation and talent between the best and the worst players in college football. 134 ways to play. From day one, our message was every team is somebody's favorite team. Properly representing offensive schemes from Air Force triple option to the air raid at USC was the utmost important to us. The final pillar, stories of Saturday, seeks to encapsulate the raw emotions of these student athletes as they perform under intense pressure in hostile environments. A true freshman is going to respond differently compared to a senior, so getting this right was really important. Now let's move over to stick work, which is one of my favorite things about the gameplay from the time I got to play. It's really responsive. You're able to really make a lot of moves in the open field, which makes the game feel very organic to me. And it says here, from the start, one of our primary objectives was to capture the authenticity and wide open gameplay of college football. We studied and tried to recreate the explosiveness of current and former college football legends. The result is a game that allows you to not only play north-south, but also east and west, thus unlocking a whole new level of excitement to the game. However, we didn't stop there. We introduced all new specific run styles for the different archetypes in College Football 25. This will provide a more in-depth and personalized gaming experience, allowing players to mimic the styles of their favorite athletes or create their own unique approach to the game. Now let's move on to wear and tear. Wear and tear is a feature that takes the football gridiron to an unprecedented level of realism. This feature ensures every hit matters and not all hits are created equal. Wear and tear is designed to simulate the real-world effects of fatigue and damage on a player's performance. It operates on a play-to-play and a game-to-game basis. If your quarterback has thrown the ball 40 plus times in a game and has taken some shots, don't expect him to be at 100% the following week in Dynasty or Road to Glory. Subtle gameplay components such as getting the ball out early, covering the ball, and just getting out of bounds will be as important as ever. Wear and tear is for all 22 players on the field, so this even affects defensive players that are laying a lot of hits as well. Every limb and body part of a player is linked with unique attributes. For instance, if your quarterback's throwing arm receives a significant hit, you'll notice a decrease in your throw power and your accuracy. Similarly, damage to the legs will impact a player's change of direction and acceleration, making every movement feel slower. Each body part degrades at a different rate, and a player's toughness rating plays a critical role into how much damage is applied on a given hit. The more damaged the body part is, the higher the chance and severity of injury. Recovery is also a critical part of this feature. Players will regain health when they are not on the field, during timeouts, at halftime, and in between weeks. However, be cautious of your player's workload. The worse a body part is damaged, the slower it recovers. A player can only recover a limited amount of damage during a single game. This encourages strategic planning and management of players to ensure optimal performance. When it comes to management outside of the quarterback and offensive line, teams will substitute around the fatigue of a player or banged up body part. If a player gets really banged up on a given play, expect him to sit out a play or two, or maybe more. Later in the game, the expectation is that the player will have to tough it out. Now, where will you be able to see all of the damages to the body parts and keep track of it? First off, you have a player reticle. Left side is wear and tear bars. The right side is fatigue. Note the bars depleting only represent the most hurt body part. You can also view this in your depth chart. Here you can see wear and tear panel on the bottom right of the player card, as well as the total and attribute is decreasing in the spreadsheet. You also have coach vision. Hold down the left trigger and the right stick down to see the wear and tear status of your entire team. And you also have the picture-in-picture in the play call menu where you can see this as well. With these changes, wear and tear will add new depths to players' gameplay more than ever before. Up until now, aside from the risks of throwing an interception or fumbling, would have been the impacts of throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game. Now, gameplay decisions come with physical consequences for your virtual players, adding another layer of authenticity and balance to the game. It's not just about the immediate win anymore. Now you have to consider long-term health and performance of your team. With the introduction of the wear and tear system, fatigue has been completely overhauled. Whereas wear and tear accounts for physical impacts, fatigue is primarily a conditioning feature designed to provide more realistic snap counts at the college level. It's something to pay attention to on a drive-to-drive basis. Let's say a running back gets 3 consecutive carries for positive yards, you may notice them huffing and puffing in the pre-play. On a subsequent carry, they'll likely come out of the game. However, recovery has been changed to where it'll likely be for only a single play so that they can catch their breath and get right back onto the field. Now let's talk about the option game. The option game is a fundamental part of college football, and we've made a thorough effort to add authenticity, depth, and balance. The first thing we targeted was to make the mechanic mirror the real-life quarterback and running back exchange. In an actual game, the quarterback places the ball in the running back's belly with the intent that he's going to hand it off. However, if the read key comes down, he pulls the ball. This is now replicated in the game with the A or X button functioning as the pull-keep button. The changes to the pull mechanic simplify your reads while also making RPOs much more usable. If you don't touch anything, the quarterback will simply hand the ball off to the running back. In an RPO scenario, if you want to bail from the read and run, you just press A. If you want to hit the receiver, you can simply press that receiver's corresponding button immediately to throw. We've made adjustments to differentiate pitch strength. Now, a quick tap will execute a quick pitch, while holding down the L1, LB will result in a strong pitch. A quick tap for a swift pitch, useful in tight spots, however, it might not hit the pitch back in stride. Holding down L1, LB for a strong pitch, suitable for when there's ample space between you and the approaching defender. It requires more time but offers precise accuracy and velocity. Fake pitching is back, activated by double tapping L1 or LB. New control around when the quarterback will branch out of option movement has been added as well. If you hold the RT/R2 button when you're a couple yards past the line of scrimmage, you'll branch into a standard ball carrier movement. Use this when you've got an edge and decide to try and take it to the crib with the quarterback. We've also added a range of new animations, including a comprehensive set of pitch animations and pitch catches. We've also introduced new pitch out of tackle animations in this year's title. The defense has also seen some significant upgrades. New AI logic has been added to the read and pitch keys, including the new read key animations. Read keys now consider more realistic context when deciding to crash or stay home. Pitch keys now exhibit more varied behavior with the ability to bluff whether they're playing the quarterback or the running back. We've introduced new coach adjustments as well. Rather than a single option defense, you can now instruct your read and pitch keys separately on how to defend. Now let's talk about the coverage shells. Football problems require football solutions. With the removal of base alignment, we wanted to put our time and effort into improving alignment, along with giving players the ability to disguise your coverages. This is in addition to the chess match that our core fans have been asking for. In the play call, you can use the right stick in formation view to command your secondary to position in a range of cunningly disguised looks. These can range from a high pressure cover 0 blitz to a backed off cover 4 look. Now let's talk about abilities, something that's very controversial and something that a lot of people don't love about Madden, but it's done a little bit differently here in College Football 25. In College Football 25, we are introducing 80 abilities, the majority of which are completely new to the football gaming space. These abilities are purely situational boosts, and there are no guarantees. Abilities are categorized into 2 groups, physical and mental. Each of these groups is further divided into 4 tiers: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. The most a player can have at any given time is 5 physical and 3 mental abilities. Our aim is to provide players with increasing depth as they progress through their tiers. For instance, considering our new grip breaker ability under the physical category. This ability bolsters a defender's capability to disengage from a block. At the bronze and silver tiers, this ability is only applicable during run plays. However, at the gold and platinum levels, it also applies to pass plays, with its effects significantly amplified. Another important note to make here is that the abilities a player can have is solely determined by their archetype. Mental abilities, on the other hand, are dictated by the position of the player. So basically, the abilities in this game are more so meant to just give you slight boosts where it makes sense, but it still keeps gameplay balance in mind. They're not guaranteed, they're not going to work every time, and there's certain gameplay situations where they might not even work at all. Let's talk about pre-snap recognition. So obviously, an experienced senior is going to be able to read things pre-snap that a freshman on the road probably won't be able to read. Now, this is accompanied by an ability such as the field general ability, which can bring this all together. So here's an example of how this ability would work for a really good, experienced quarterback. At the bronze tier, blitzers are highlighted, but only after the snap. This gives players a basic level of awareness, but requires them to react quickly. At the silver tier, this ability can spot blitzers before the snap, but only if they're close to the line of scrimmage and for a brief moment. At the gold tier, this unveils a coverage shell momentarily, giving players a glimpse into the defensive strategy. So you might see that the 2 high safeties are in a cover 4, for example. And at the platinum tier, this allows players to see even disguised shells, albeit briefly. This is designed to ensure that a defensive player can make strategic adjustments in response. Confidence and composure. In College Football 25, the game isn't about who has the most skilled players on the field. It's also about who can maintain their composure in high-pressure situations. Confidence and composure is about moment-to-moment gameplay, reflecting the real-life ups and downs of these student athletes as each play unfolds. Experience plays a critical role in confidence and composure. A freshman player will have more volatile swings compared to a seasoned senior. As the crowd level increases, the effective player's confidence increases progressively. In the heated atmosphere of a rivalry game like the game, the stakes of maintaining composure are even higher. Events such as scoring touchdowns can lift the morale of your entire team, while individual achievements such as pass breakup can significantly boost the composure of a player who made the big play. It's important to note that composure is highly individualized, driven by a player's archetype. For instance, when your player starts to cook, a scrambling quarterback will have improved ball security, while a field general will benefit from improved throw accuracy. Additionally, players can have unique mental abilities that influence their composure. These abilities can affect their teammates for that position group. Consider the Legion ability, which increases the confidence of other defensive backs when that player gets an interception. Take note that these mental abilities are lost anytime a player goes cold, making the management of confidence and composure even more essential. Now let's talk about Coach Vision. This is a real-time pre-snap information system designed to quickly provide you a detailed overview of these features when holding the left trigger. So when you hold the left trigger, you can move the joystick to different directions. You can view your wear and tear from here. You can view your composure and confidence of your players from here. You can view the abilities on both sides of the ball, and you can view your matchups to see who has positive matchups and who has bad matchups. Home field advantage. It says here, firstly, we aim to pay off and differentiate the top environments in college football. This differentiation involved two core elements, audio and in-game modifiers. Modifiers are effects that disrupt your gameplay both pre and post snap. For instance, you might experience squiggly lines, play art appearing incorrectly, audibles and hot routes failing to register at higher rates, or receiver icons fading out during a crucial moment of your game. Next, we considered the critical elements of confidence, composure, and a player's experience. As noticed in the confidence and composure section, we wanted to ensure that these elements were factored into how much the hostile environments impacted you, both pre and post snap. This allows for a more immersive experience, and it adds another layer of strategy to gameplay. With the limited ability to communicate on the field, the initial correct play call will be as important as ever. In addition, we decided to pay homage to the classic 06 version of the game by reintroducing a similar screen shake, stadium pulse meter, and allowing you to tell the crowd to get louder by flicking up on the right stick. It's also important to note that home field advantage only impacts the visiting team. Just like in real life, this feature is entirely situation based. Staying within manageable down and distance is vital to successfully moving the ball down the field. As the game situation gets tougher, the crowd noise intensifies. The louder the crowd gets, the higher the modifier and composure hits. Now let's talk about pre-play controls. It says this year before the snap, you'll notice several enhancements designed to amplify the strategic gameplay. Hot routes have undergone a revamp, providing all players with access to 12 unique routes. For instance, the new Bang 8 route has been incorporated into the outside wide receiver tree. This entire route tree is readily available for all quarterbacks without the need of an ability. Now this is great. We can get post routes, corner routes, all those great routes that we needed abilities for on Madden. We don't need that here. They also introduced custom stems, a new feature that allows you to adjust the distance of a receiver's route. While hot routing, press and hold the L1 LB to start adjusting. Move the left stick to modify the distance by a single yard, or you can use the D-pad for alterations of 5-yard increments. So you can literally take a corner route and have it break at 1 yard, 5 yards, 8 yards, 15 yards, 35 yards, however you want. Complete customization of your routes. They've also revamped the passing system. It says our main objective in the pass game was to hone the art of layering the football. This includes everything from dropping the ball in the bucket to your tight end between the linebacker and the free safety to throwing a bullet on the 12-yard dig route. These new trajectory changes really allow you to throw the receiver open. To accomplish this, we increased the variance of the left stick pass lead, changed our inaccuracy mislocations, and overhauled our passing trajectories. The biggest change you will feel immediately is how we evolved the concept of throw power. Now, throw power doesn't simply refer to the distance of the throw, but how hard you can throw it. While these enhancements are exciting, it is also important to maintain balance. For years, players have been able to hold the bullet pass with little to no consequences. However, in this new system, the distance of a throw and the quarterback's attributes and abilities will affect the accuracy of a bullet, potentially resulting in accuracy penalties. On the start of a pass, you'll notice 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red. The sizes of these sections depend on your quarterback's attributes, abilities, and throw distance, and other factors that impact accuracy, such as being pressured, back foot, on the run, etc. Landing in the blue increases your chances of a safe, accurate ball, while landing in the yellow could mean more uncertainty from your ideal target. Red areas indicate potential inaccuracy. The longer you stay in the red, the greater the penalty. Keep in mind that not all red sections are equal. Quarterbacks with weaker arms or lower accuracy ratings will have larger red sections. They've also made significant enhancements to the pump fake mechanic. Now, when you're playing with the pass meter, the meter will appear over the receiver you are pump faking to. It's no longer necessary for receivers to execute a double move for defenders to react in that direction. We have worked on improving defenders' reaction to the pump fake in terms of the angle they take, the duration of their reaction, and more. Introducing the switch stick. When lurking in pass coverage, flick the right stick. This will directionally switch you to other coverage defenders according to the direction of your flick, thus allowing you to play multiple levels of the field. For an instance, we know the pain of getting caught on your defensive line while trying to make adjustments, so additionally, when in pass rush situation, press the left stick plus the B or O to switch directionally. What about the hit stick? No worries here. Once the quarterback has thrown the ball or crosses the line of scrimmage, the right stick turns back into the hit stick. This is one of the more underrated changes to the game. You can control multiple people on defense now by switching between them post play, so this really allows you to be a true lurker on defense now and jump to different spots. Playbooks and team style. This year, over 1,500 new plays, more than 50 formations, along with 134 playbooks have been created to reflect the current offensive and defensive trends in the sport. In addition to team playbooks, College 25 also includes 10 non-team playbooks. These are based on a variety of play styles such as air raid, multiple, pistol, power spread, option, pro, run and shoot, spread option, and the veer and shoot. These playbooks can be customized and saved as a custom playbook, adding an extra layer of strategy to the game. Staying true to the theme of player control, a brand new type of trick play will debut, the DIY reverse. In these plays, you decide whether to hand it off to your teammate using L1 LB or keep the ball and run. This introduces exciting plays like halfback direct DIY reverse, designed to keep the defense on their toes. The game action picks up with the addition of trick plays including double pass reverse, reverse pass, and reverse flea flicker. A note to consider is that when running any given trick plays, the defense will adapt, making these play calls a much riskier proposition. A new glance RPO play type has been added, giving players the ability to read the safety to the side of the glance route, which is a short post. This year's game is filled with RPO plays. Consequently, we recognize the need to enhance the defense's abilities to counter them, and the majority of defensive alignment's defenders who are positioned away from the run will prioritize their pass responsibilities. Additionally, defenders have been designed to be more aggressive in fending off blocks from incoming receivers. On top of that, run-fit defenders are now capable of responding to the run action more rapidly, enabling them to come downhill and make the stop. When it comes to the attention to detail, we didn't stop there. You will see the popular wide formation splits from teams such as Oklahoma and Tennessee, which are spread further out than the traditional formations, a characteristic of the veer and shoot play style. The flexbone option offense is also introduced, featuring base plays such as triple option, midline, rocket toss, counter option, and zone dive. On the defensive side of the ball, the playbooks assigned to teams include the 3-2-6, the 3-4, 3-4 multiple, 3-3-5, 3-3-5 tight, 4-2-5, 4-3, 4-3 multiple, and simply multiple. Let's talk about the tempo game. In order to replicate quick-paced nature of college football, we have introduced several modifications prior to the snap. These include no huddle and the new turbo tempo style, both aiming to speed up the game flow. In the no huddle tempo, players rush back to the line, offering traditional tempo option on the Y and triangle. Although there is no huddle, audibles to plays within your personnel group are still possible. Meanwhile, the turbo tempo encapsulates a rapid rush to the line style of play, activated by pressing the square or X post play. Think back to the blur offense days at Oregon. You're essentially trading the ability to hot route and audible at the line of scrimmage for the advantage of the defense not being set and their defensive line being slower off the ball. Take note that in order for this to be effective, you need to snap the ball within the early stages of the play clock. AI teams now exhibit distinctive identities in their tempo usage. Teams like Oklahoma, for instance, adopt an up-tempo strategy for most of the game, possibly calling for a shot play after securing a first down in certain areas of the field at a fast pace. Conversely, teams like Michigan may only resort to this move following a significant play to jumpstart the offense when losing. In situations where players or the AI are about to audible, players will glance towards the sideline looking at the play call holders on both offense and defense. If the defense is caught looking to the sideline, they will be slower to get off the ball. Real-time coaching. Making its debut in this year's edition, the real-time coaching feature is an adaptive coaching engine designed to authentically enhance both offensive and defensive CPU gameplay. In this RTC engine, coaching aggressiveness possesses unique adaptive adjustment levels. This means that different coaches will react and adapt differently to successful run and pass games, thus creating a more authentic, dynamic, and unpredictable game environment. Additionally, the AI now has access to the full range of adjustments, just like a human player would make. As a result, you can now see teams employ an array of adjustments such as shade techniques, showing blitz, run commits, QB contains, and spies The AI will also recognize and adapt to your offensive personnel. For instance, if you're dominating a team with the inside zone out of 11 personnel, you'll notice the CPU tweaking their defensive line, providing a different look to potentially alter your play call. If you're having significant success on the ground, you may find some teams loading the box earlier than others. Furthermore, the AI is designed to be aware of your players' ratings and abilities. If you have an elite wideout, some teams might double team him from the jump or match him with their top corner. The defensive AI is also capable of disguising coverage, adding another layer of challenge to gameplay. Situational adjustments are another key feature in this new engine. Despite being in its first year, this engine significantly enhances pre-snap adjustment chess matches. For example, in scenarios where you're inside the 10 with man coverage, expect to see more press and inside shade techniques, forcing the ball out and over the top. Another example of situational adjustments is when the opposition is leading by 3 scores late in the game. In this case, you'll notice them keeping the ball inside and tackling conservatively to keep the clock ticking. In the trenches, a new pass protection mechanic has been added, which provides 6 pass protection targeting schemes. These schemes allow players to have increased control over matchups. Through user interface matchup lines, players can now see who is targeting who, and indicators will show unblocked defenders. Additionally, the pocket formation on pass plays has been improved to enhance overall gameplay. To maintain the flow and momentum in blocking interactions, 400 animations have been added. These animations not only cover open field blocking, but also extend to pass blocking and run blocking, point of attack, and engagements. This helps deliver an aggressive and powerful experience in the trenches, akin to what is played in real life on Saturdays. Let's move on to the weather. They definitely put an emphasis on making weather matter with the gameplay this year. It says, let's first touch on player movement. Harsh weather conditions affect the movement of your players. It's challenging to plant and cut in these conditions, and this will be the first thing you feel. The passing game faces considerable impact when playing under harsh weather conditions as well. Players will notice wobbly passes, impacted pass accuracy, and throw power are some of the other gameplay elements affected by the weather. The chances of increased drops and fumbles also rise under adverse weather conditions. The ball becomes slippery and harder to hold on to, increasing the risk of turnovers. This aspect means that players will have to be extra cautious while handling the ball, using the RBR1 cover ball mechanic. This is not a one-way street, however. Weather will also make base wrap and dive tackling a bit more challenging as well. Weather also impacts special teams. You'll feel hits to your kick power and accuracy. Kicking the ball in heavy rain or snow can drastically alter the trajectory and distance, making field goals and punts challenging. And speaking of kicking, they're introducing a crazy new kick meter that I absolutely love, but I think some people, it's going to take them time to get used to. So how does this work? The distance of the kick along with the kicker's ratings decide the green and yellow regions of the meter. This means that longer kicks with lower rated kickers will have smaller green zones, making the kick more challenging. It adds an element of strategy to your game, as you need to consider your kicker's ability before making a long distance attempt. The speed of the ball moving side to side on the accuracy meter is also based on the distance of the kick. Simply, the further the kick, the faster the ball moves, once again increasing the level of difficulty for long range attempts. As the ball is moving side to side, your goal is to lock the ball into the green portion of the meter by pressing the AX button. Once that's locked in, you'll see the power meter fill up. To achieve maximum power, you'll need to release the AX button right before the red portion of the meter. Timing is key, and the excitement of nailing the perfect kick is a thrill that's hard to match. The mechanic makes accuracy just as important as power, reflecting the real-life pressures that kickers face. Lastly, hitting in the red represents an overkick. This could result in varied outcomes in terms of inaccuracies, making it a risky move. Overkicking could potentially give you the distance you need, but at the potential cost of missing the goalpost entirely. They're also introducing an entirely new celebration system that's customized, so every time you score or make a big play, you can celebrate the way you want. This year, you now have a choice from a variety of 20 different touchdown celebrations, 4 interception celebrations, and 4 first down celebrations. How does it work? It's simple. When you score, you can press one of the 4 directions of the right stick. If you want to take it up a notch, you can combo the right stick with either the left bumper or left trigger, or right bumper, right trigger. This system allows you to swag out, get pumped, or taunt the crowd your way. Have fun exploring all the options, or pause the game and check out the full list menu. Another cool little thing they added this year with the victory formation is that as soon as the game is mathematically over, you just take the knee. Players will come out onto the field and it will simulate the following kneel downs. Not only does this feel like Saturday, but it can also get you back into your next game, wherever that may be. So it kind of gets through that part quicker, and you also have some animations and stuff to pay off you winning the game. And here are some other little things in the blog that were listed that they wanted you to be aware of in the game that they didn't go into great detail about, but they wanted to make sure you knew. You may have noticed it in the trailer, but in case you didn't, the new 1-foot sideline catch animations have been added. You can access these using the possession catch near the sideline, and there's tons of different ones of these in the game. Also, new walk to the line animations have been added. Now all players on each side of the ball will walk to the line following a play call. The timing of when you can snap still will feel quick, while still giving the opposing team time to make adjustments. I know people wanted to see this back in the game. Madden took this out a while ago where you just got to the line instantly. They've kind of dialed that back here, and they've added the walkout and the break of the huddle, which is good to see. You might also see defensive pursuit has been refreshed in college to represent the wide range of player abilities in real life to track the ball carrier in space. A player's pursuit rating is key in this aspect. Playmaker, a fan favorite, the playmaker mechanic, right stick on pass plays, has been revamped for increased responsiveness and control, probably making it more like the older games rather than how it's been in the recent games where it's kind of a little bit sluggish. Play action. When play action is called in run situations such as first down or less than 3 yards to go to first down, the effects of run fit defenders are now amplified. This was a crazy long video. They put a lot of detail into this. It took a while to read all of this, but I'm glad you guys now have all of the info. If you want to know more about modes like Dynasty and Road to Glory, you can check out this video I did yesterday right here on the screen.